Hello guys, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, write in the comment room. Oh, we can hear you. And if you can see my screen as well, you should write. Please, I want to see your comments in the comment room if you can hear me clearly. And also, if you can see my screen, you should talk about that. I want to see direct response. I want to see direct response to my question. And remember, this page, remember this particular page, okay, this particular YouTube is for IT. It was created for IT related stuff. IT, I mean tech. So, okay. So that's why we are hosting the CSM tutorial here, because this place is purposely made for IT stuff. As in during the vacation, those who will be learning IT related, this is what we'll be doing. Cyber security and ethical hacking, like data analysis and data science. So let's quickly go to our main problem. Okay. Now this is the thing. Please, I want to guide you with some questions, but mind you, listen attentively. The questions are not exam questions or past questions. They are just questions that are used for self-assessment. Questions that I want you, revision questions to remember whatever you've learned. So that when you see similar question or when you see same points in exams, you can remember that, yeah, Philos talk about this. I hope that is clear. So they are not past question, or they are not necessarily the direct question you are going to see in exam, but they give you clue about how exam questions are. And also you can also like you can remember that, okay, I once explained something like this, that okay, this is this. So when you see something, you're able to answer. Is that okay? So I don't want to hear anything like is that okay? Let's proceed. Let's proceed. So first, let's start with this side. Now, this question is asking us that, pay attention, oh, please. This is not about answers. Remember, I told you it's not they are not past questions, or they are not your direct question. So you need understanding in this one. Understanding will help you in exams. I know why I'm saying that. So pay attention to my words. This time, whatever I explain to you is the most important thing, because it's going to help you in your questions. Your explanation is very important. So it's not about just A, B, C, D, that thing people have been doing. Listen to explanation. So now this question is asking us that, which of the following best explains why internet is often described as a network, of networks, as a network of networks? Which of these describe the reason? So it is important to know that the internet is mostly referred to as what? Network of networks. Please listen to explanation, you know. It is mostly referred to as network of networks, isn't it? But why is it, like, why do they refer to it? So the reason they refer to it as such is this: because it connects many smaller. Please, explanation is very important. It's not about whether something is MCQs or not. It's not about A, B, C, D. Please, I know why I'm stressing on this. So that when you see something similar, you can, no matter what it is, you can come out that, yeah, Philos one said this. So the reason the internet is often described as network of networks is because it connects many smaller networks into a worldwide communication system. That is the reason. So keep it that point, that the reason the internet is referred to as network of networks is because what? It connects many smaller networks into worldwide communication systems. What do you mean by system? What do you mean by system? System is like a collection of multiple units, like vice chancellor to this person to that, this person. It's called system. System is like not one thing, multiple things working in, they are interconnected and working together. We call it system. When multiple things are interconnected and working together, working hand in hand, they are interdependent on one another. One depends on the other depends on the other. We call it system in English. So here we are saying that the internet is referred to as network of networks because it connects many smaller networks into a worldwide communication system. You get it? Then let's look at another one. They said a student says, listen carefully. The internet and the World Wide Web are exactly. I think I need to move faster. I need to move. Hold on a minute. I have to fast and let's continue. Now this says a student says the internet and the World Wide Web are exactly the same. Which response most accurate? So are they the same? What will you respond to him? Are you going to say they are the same or not? So the answer is A. A. It is not correct. The internet is not the same as what? World Wide Web. A. And the reason is that what? Listen attentively. You see, the web is a service. Okay. Listen, oh, the web, it is a service. It's a what? Service. And it operates on the internet. Is that okay? It's a service that operates on the internet. It's very important to know that the web is just a mere service that uses the internet infrastructure. Just as you also use certain infrastructure for something. So the internet is just a that operates in what? That operates on the internet. Hope that is clear. Very important. Let's look at something else. Here I'm asking, which statement best distinguishes the internet from the World Wide Web? Which of these best distinguish the internet from the World Wide Web? Now pay attention here also. What distinguishes the internet from the World Wide Web is this. You see, the internet is a physical or global network infrastructure. You should also know that. Apart from being, you should know that the internet is the physical or global network infrastructure, whereas the web is a collection of linked web pages. Linked web pages. You should also know that point. Very important. Okay, so here it is about you knowing points, knowing things. Not about whether something is A or B or C. Why I'm stressing on that. The internet is basically physical and global network infrastructure, whereas the World Wide Web is just a collection of linked web pages. So, okay, a collection of what? Linked web pages. If you are following, write following in the comment room. Fast. Write following in the comment room. I want to see you writing following in the now. Good. Now let's look at another case. The original design of the internet being decentralized made it the original. The way I'm explaining it today, whether you see MCQs or written, be able to say something based on points I'm making every question. The original design of the internet being decentralized made it what? What does it make it? The original design being decentralized made it what? So it made it what? Less vulnerable. Okay. Made it what? Less vulnerable to attacks that could disable one central point. You see, if we are all connected to one point, if everything is connected to one point, what will happen? If there's a problem, if there's an attack with that one point, every person will be affected. But if it is being decentralized, if there's decentralization, when there's attack on one point, all the other points will not be what? Attacked. You need to know that point. It's very important. It's a normal thing you should know. That's com skills to CSM students. You guys, so it makes it less vulnerable to attacks that could disable one central point. You see, if there's an attack on one central point, it will affect every system. So in order not to shut down the entire system, do you know that if the family and marriage system refuse to give birth again, it will affect all the other systems like the economic, the education, because there will not be people to go and work in those places again because families have decided not to. You get it? Something like that. So when without this decentralization, there will be what? There will be more attacks on one central point, and it will affect every single point. You need to know that. It's very important. Then this says, which combination best represents the two original goals of ARPANET? Okay, what were the two original goals of ARPANET? So assuming you were writing CSM exams and they didn't give you MCQs and they ask you for the goals of ARPANET, the reason for ARPANET, what will you say? Is that okay? So this is what you should say. You should say B. Is that okay? That the goals were for information sharing among scientists and survival if part of the network failed. Okay, that was the two original goal of what? The ARPANET. Okay, for information sharing among scientists, that's one. And another is for what? Survival if part of the network failed. That was the original goal of the what? ARPANET. So keep that note. Yeah, I'll save the video. I'll save it. Then another point. Let's look at. I hope you've kept that point. Important point to know. In the client server structure, okay, we got something client and server, the web. In the client / server structure of the web browser functions mainly as. What does the web browser functions as in the what? Client server structure. Web browser, what does it function as? So it's important to know what the web browser functions. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Write in the comment room. Please, can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Notice something. I want to come. So in the client server, the web browser functions mainly as what? What does it function as? Now, see, in the web client server model, what happens is that the browser will be acting as the web client. Is that okay? To be acting as a web client. So the web browser or the browser functions as what? Web client. Know that. What is a browser? What's a web browser? Already know what browsers are. So they function as what? Web client. The client in okay. Function as a client, not the server. Don't go and talk, say it functions as actually functioning as a client. Get it? Then which of the following correctly describes a web browser? Which of the following correctly describes a web browser? So which of them correctly describe a web? So look at the options quickly. Which of them correctly describe web browser? So it is C. Okay. What's the function of a web browser, or it describes what a web browser is? I say web browser, web server. Web server. A computer that stores web files. Take note of a computer that stores what? It stores web files. Okay, a web server stores web files. Okay, and it also what? Responds to client requests. It's a server. It's like you are serving somebody. That's how to remember. It's like you are serving somebody. So a web server will store the web files, just as if you are the one serving people, you are the one who will store the food and everything you use to serve the person. And also, you are the one who will respond to the request of the client. When the clients are requesting for something, you respond to it because you are the server. Simple. It's not difficult. So the web server actually stores the web files, and after storing the web files, they also respond to the what? To the client request. They respond to the request of the client. Is that okay? So take note of that. It's very important. Well, it's important you know that the web server stores web files and also responds to the what? To the request of the client. Is that okay? So that's another important note to take. Another. A browser uses DNS before loading a website mainly because a browser uses DNS before loading a website mainly because why? Why does it use DNS before loading the website? Why? Because listen attentively. It is the DNS that translates the domain names into IP addresses so that computers can locate websites. Is that okay? So it is this. The DNS translates domain names into corresponding IP address. You see, there's something called IP address. It looks like one something something, like it's in numbers. Now, your domain name, no, like knust.edu.gh, will be converted. Okay, knust.edu.gh will be converted to what? Converted to IP address. And who converts it to the IP address? It is the DNS. It is the DNS that will translate, like you translating French to English. So for the computer to understand, the DNS will translate the domain names into the corresponding IP address. For the computer to understand, the computer doesn't understand English, the normal English you guys are speaking. Like KNUST, it doesn't know you are talking about KNUST. So the DNS will now translate that KNUST blah 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 to IP address, that domain IP address to it, so that it will understand that this is where you are going. Is that okay? So the question is that a browser uses DNS before loading a website mainly because the reason is that the DNS is the one that will translate the domain names into the corresponding IP addresses. Is that okay? Then another. Which of the following is the best example of domain name? So which of these is the best example of what domain name? So it is simple. This knust.edu.gh talks about KNUST. So you know that you are going to KNUST website, knust.edu.gh. That okay? So it is best example for domain name. So when you see the Delotion.org, okay, Delotion.org, that's the domain name, and so many others that. But see, this one here is a page. It's a page. This one / academic fees. It's a page that if you want to see the academic fees KNUST pay, that's a page you are going to see it. On the domain, you will see that. But the domain is knst.edu.gh. And this is IP address. The A is IP address. Is that okay? Then in the domain name knst.edu.gh, which part most likely indicates the country of origin? Which of them indicates the country of what? Origin. Which indicates the country of origin. So the GH shows that it's from Ghana. Is that okay? The GH indicates that it's from Ghana. If it was Zimbabwe, Zimbabwe one would have been, I think, Z something something. And South Africa one too is Z something. Nigeria is NG. So, and it's mostly used by public institutions. Okay, government institutions or public institutions, they mostly have the .gh. They don't have .com. They don't use .com. They don't use .org. You need to know that. Okay, government institutions and public, they don't use .com, .org, .it and those things. They, if it's for the country, for Ghana, they will use .gh. So that's why Legon website also is also .gh. And if it's an academic institution, see .edu. So before the GH comes, you see edu before the GH. If it's a educational governmental institution, you see .edu.gh. So Legon also is ug.edu.gh because it's also government and also educational institution. The ones that are not educational institutions, they also have their different distance. They don't use edu, but you will see GH attached to them also. When you go to the Ministry of Finance website, you will see it there. I think they use .gov also. Okay, that .gov.gh. That's what they use. .gov something Ministry of Finance .gov.gh, something like that. Is that okay? And then and a whole lot, you get it. I think I've spent more time. Let's proceed. Which of the following best describe an IP address? So what is an IP address? When they give you written, they ask you to describe what an IP. So what's an IP address? So listen, an IP address uniquely identifies a computer or device on a network. See, every computer has their own unique IP address. Just like you all have index number. Have you seen that you all have index number? Have you seen that your index number is different from your friend's index number? That's why sometimes when you write exams, without even writing your name, if you write your index number, we will know that it is you, Kwabena. We will know that it is you, Kofi. We will know that it is you, Fafali. We will know that it is you, Ama, with your index number or your serial number, your student number. So IP addresses are also unique to every device. Is that okay? They are unique. So an IP address uniquely, so the answer is this. Is that okay? An IP address uniquely identifies a computer or device on a network. So every computer or every device on a network have their own IP address they are coming with. Just as you students, you all have your own index number you come with in the school. Is that clear? And if you observe, you see that all of you, almost all of you, let me show you something. Have you noticed that you guys, your index number ends with 25? Am I lying? Your index number ends with 25. Your index number ends with 25. If you see somebody in your class whose index number ends with 24 or 23, it means the person probably deferred his program for one more year. Some people defer their program to stay more in the school. Maybe they have something they want to fix, or some of them, maybe they travel for something, they have to wait and come back. You get it? You know why your index number ends with 25? Because you all came in 2025. I know you came January 2026. I know you came but you are supposed, do you know, if you were to be, the school used to run a different timing before COVID. It was after COVID that things got destroyed. I didn't mean that the school was still running like how they used to run before. You guys would have been in this school by September of last year. And by now, you are already going to second year. Initially, first semester used to be from September to December, and second semester used to be from January to March thereabout, or April or May. Let me say January to May thereabout. So I didn't mean that we are still on the old system. As I'm speaking to you right now, you guys would have been on vacation, and by next month or next 2 months, you will come back for second year. So you are actually 2025 academic year, actually. You are not 2026 academic. You get it? So that's why your index number. So let me go back to IT. So every device have their unique IP address. So okay, that they are identified with. So next, IPv6 was developed mainly because what was the main reason why IPv6 was developed? What was the main reason why IPv6 was developed? So the main reason IPv6 was developed is because IPv4 could not support the increasing number of internet connected devices. You remember that initially MTN used to be 054 mostly, but as time goes on they started having 053 also. As time goes on they started having 024. As time goes on they started having 023. The reason they started having more, okay, the reason they started having more was that all these ones are already exhausted. It's like people have purchased sims, so these ones are exhausted. Like there's no more chance for people to get new number again. It has choked. So because it has choked, so they started having more types. As time goes on, if these ones too get choked, they will add more types, or our numbers will increase. Maybe we'll no longer use 10 digits, we'll start using 11 digits. Who knows? Let's see the future. You get it? So because IPv4 was also exhausted, okay, because of increasing number of internet connected devices, so we now have what? IPv6. IPv6 came to save us. Okay, so for that matter, the answer is what? B. IPv4 could not support the projected growth of internet connected devices. You see, it is projected that internet connected devices will increase as time goes on due to population and everything. You get it? So IPv4 cannot contain that increment. So they have to develop IPv6 to contain us, to contain all the internet connected devices. I hope that is clear. Which of the following is a key difference between IPv4 and IPv6? So what's the major difference between them? You need to know that as well. Okay. So it is important to know, say, IPv4, IPv6 uses a much larger address space than IPv4. Okay, IPv6 uses a much larger address space than what? IPv4. You need to know that. Okay, simple. This is not. Then, which item in a URL tells browser the rules to use when transferring a file? Please, this one you need to know. It is very important as well. Which item in the URL? What is a URL? URL is that thing you have https knust.edu.gh. That's a URL. Okay. https :/www.knust.edu. The full thing is URL. Okay. So they're asking that which item in the URL tells the browser the rules to use when transferring a file. Which of them tells the browser the rules to use? So it is the what? HTTP. Okay. Is the what? HTTP. So that's the protocol. We call it protocol. Okay. The HTTP you see over there, it is this one. HTTP or HTTPS. The two of them are they are different. This one has security. This one doesn't have security. You get it? And these two, they are called protocol. Hypertext transfer protocol. You get it? So they are the ones who tell the browser the rules to use when transferring a file. They tell the browser the rules to use when transferring a file. We call them protocol. Don't forget to protocol. That's the general name for them. Okay. Then let's look at something else. The URL. So remember I told you that this full thing can be called what? URL. Okay, the full thing together with the HTTPS can be called what? URL. Now, this question is asking that in the URL https :/www.knust.edu.gh / academic fees. The part academic fees is best described as pay attention. Let's say this is KNUST website. That is knust.edu.gh. Okay, I'll stop at .gh. Now, the full KNUST website It's going to have a single page called academic fees. Okay. It can also have a page called admission. Admission. You see, it can also have a page called students, where you will see information about students. Okay. You can also have a page called, pay attention. You can also have a page called okay, we have academic fees already. You can also have a page called blog, where you see KNUST news. In fact, even under blog, you can also have more pages under blog. You see, you can have, let's say, slug, and you can have general, where everything will be under blog. So each page can also have sub pages. Each area can also have sub areas, but let's forget about it. Now, just this one, academic fees, that is under the KNUST / academic fees. So you see that if you change the / to, let's say, / admission, to take you to a different page. If you have / academic fees, it will take you to where academic fees are. If you change the / after the / if you change the academic fees to admission, it will take you to where admission. You get it? And each of them are called what? Pages. Is that okay? Pages. So they are asking you that the part academic fees is best described as. What is it described as? Okay. So it is the path name or the resource location. Is that okay? The page or the path name or the what? Resource location. All these things are called paths. This is a path. This is another path. This is another path. This is another path. You get it? This is the path that leads to academic fees. This is the path that leads to what? Admission. The path that leads to your student portal. The path that leads to your blog, where you read KNUST news from. You get it? So the academic fees part is just telling you, it describes the path name or the resource location. What is a resource? Resource is basically what you want to see over there. What do you want to see? You want to see the academic fees. So that's the location of that resource. So it's the path name, or you can also refer to as resource location. Okay, so let's proceed. Which statement about HTTP is most accurate? Which of them is very accurate? I think before 4 I should be done. Which statement about HTTP is most accurate? Very accurate. Which of them? So the HTTP is most common transfer protocol used on the most common protocol used on it. That's something accurate statement. The other statements are not accurate about HTTP. Especially A. A says it's a browser, not a protocol. A is lying. A can lie, Papa. It's not a browser, it's a protocol. And he's saying it's not a protocol. You see. And C is also lying. D is also lying. So the answer is what? B. Okay. The most common. Let's proceed. The main security advantage of HTTPS over HTTP is that HTTPS does what? What is the security advantage of HTTPS over HTTP? What's the security advantage of the one that contains S over the one that doesn't have? So it's the one that contains S, the HTTPS. It encrypts. It encrypts communication system. Okay, it encrypts communication between the browser and the server. Okay, it encrypts communication between the browser and the what? Web server. That is the advantage of the one containing S over the one that doesn't have S. So keep that point. It's an important point to note. That it encrypts communication between the browser and the web server. Is that okay? It encrypts communication between the browser and the what? Web server. Are you guys following? If you are following, quickly write following in the comments. Following in the. If you are following, write following in the comments. That's super. Let me proceed. If a browser shows that a website certificate is not trusted, the safest conclusion is that if a browser shows that a website certificate is not trusted, what is the safest conclusion? What do you conclude? What would you conclude that So you conclude that what? The browser cannot confirm the website's secure identity. Okay, that browser cannot confirm that website's secure identity. That is why it is not trusted. It's like you are going to take loan in at the bank, okay, and then you've given your Ghana card and they check your Ghana card and it's showing any proper result. It's not even showing your name clearly or something. Anything there. Or you can't even provide any card about yourself. How would they give you the loan? You get it? So if the browser shows that a website certificate is not trusted, what it means is that the browser cannot confirm the website's secure identity. And if that can confirm the secure identity of that website, then it will say it is trusted. You get it? Which of the following best describes HTML? This one we use it to code. Okay, HTML. We use it to write what you want audience to see. So when you guys go to a website, okay, whatever text you see on the website, we use HTML to write it. But how would you answer it in this case? So HTML is a markup language. Okay, it's actually a markup language. The ML inside stands for markup language. You get it? ML inside stands for markup language. So we say HTML is a markup language that uses tags to structure and display web content. Is that okay? So it is a markup language that uses tags. It uses tags and structure. What do we call tags? These are tags. If I want you to see this paragraph, this sentence, which of the following, if I want you to see it as a paragraph, this is how I'll write it in my code. I'll write it like this. Okay, then I'll write what I want you to see. Which of the following best describe HTML, blah, 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 blah. Then I'll close the tag. I'll close the tag like this. If I want you to see it as a header one, I'll write it H1 and close it. I'll show you guys during the vacation. We'll do programming, how to code, so you see it. Okay, so H1, you close H1. If you do this, whatever you write here will show to the audience as a header. Don't worry, you understand well, but all these things are called tags. Okay, so it shows a tag structure and a markup language that uses tag structure and display web content. Is that okay? It uses tag structure and display what? Web content, the content of the web. Okay, don't worry. In HTML, the purpose of tags such as, you see, they brought one example. The purpose of tags such as this one, we use it to bolden. This one, if you see B, we use it to bolden something. If you want it to appear bold, I hope you understand what I mean by bold. If you want something to appear bold, we use this one, this tag B. If you want, let's say you want this one in HTML, comma, and you want from here to break down, to go to the next line, it shouldn't be on this line. We'll put this thing here. We'll write BR. We'll put it in the middle here. If we put BR in the middle here, the continuation will break down to the next line. To break down, it will not continue on the same line again. And a whole lot, we have a whole lot of them. Okay. And we also have one called div. We have one called div. Okay, div. And the likes. You get it. But you forget about that. So they're asking that in HTML, the purpose of tags such as D and this is to, what's the purpose? So it's to tell the browser how to display the content. Just as I told you, if we put BR in the middle here, it will break down to the next line. So we are telling it how it should display the content. Is that okay? So the purpose is to tell the browser how to display the content. You get it? The purpose of them is to tell the browser how to display the what? The content. Is that okay? Which of the following is the best? Time is going on. Which of the following is the most accurate description of Web 2? Which of the following is the most accurate description of what? Web 2. Please, you guys like how I'm explaining, like how I'm summarizing everything you've learned for you using sample questions? Are you enjoying it? I want to see your comments in the comments. I need to assess myself. Know if I'm not wasting my time. Which of the following is the most accurate description of Web 2.0? Which of the following is the most accurate description of Web 2? The most accurate. So Web 2, listen, Web 2 emphasizes on interaction. Okay, listen to my explanation. Web 2 emphasizes on what? Interaction, user-generated content, and sharing and participation. So if that is the case, then we should choose D as the answer. Okay, we should choose D as the answer. Okay. A shift toward user interaction, user-generated content, and sharing. Please remember that Web 2 emphasizes on interaction, user-generated content, and sharing and participation. Participation. Is that okay? Web 2 emphasizes on what? On what? User interaction, user-generated content, sharing, and participation. Participation. Is that okay? So this is the best answer to pick here. Then let's proceed. Which activity best reflects Web 2 series? Web 2.0. Which activity best reflects Web 2? Among the options, which of them best reflect what Web 2 is? Which of them is best telling you what Web 2 is? Remember that posting comments and sharing videos are examples of active user participation in Web 2. Now, okay, posting comments, listen, posting comments and sharing videos are examples of active user participation in Web 2. So in Web 2, you can only post comments and share the videos and also contribute to what? Content online. Now, okay, so Web 2 allows you to do that. Web 2 allows you to post comments, also share the videos, and also contribute in the content online. That's what Web 2 allows you to do. Get it? So it is because of Web 2. That's why you guys are able to comment. That's how you guys are able to comment on the live right now. Okay. That's why you guys are able to share the videos. That's why you're able to share the link. Contribute to the content online. That's why you guys are able to contribute to any content online. It's because of availability of Web 2. You get it? Then another one, a search operator is useful mainly because it. A search operator is useful mainly because it. Why is it useful? Why is a search operator, this search operator, why is it useful? Why is it useful? Simple. Listen, search operator can help you to refine searches and improve the accuracy of search results. Is that okay? Keep my word. Search operators can help you to define searches and improve the accuracy of search results. That is why I'm going to pick C as the answer. It helps refine and improve search results. Okay, listen again. I said search operators help you to refine your searches. They help you to refine searches and improve the accuracy of search results. Is that okay? You guys should pay attention. So then another one. Why must information found on the web be evaluated carefully? Why do we have to evaluate every information we find on the web carefully? What is the reason we should do that? Listen. You see, every information we find on the web, the reason we should evaluate them carefully is because there is no single authority checks for all web pages for accuracy. Is that okay? No single authority checks all web pages for accuracy. That's why you need to evaluate whatever information you find on the web carefully. That's the reason I'm going to pick B. Okay. No one oversees all web page content for accuracy. No one oversees all web pages content for accuracy. That is the reason information found on web must be evaluated carefully. Okay. That's the reason. No one is overseeing it. No one is monitoring it correctly. Unless something happened before they will go and find out this true or something. Then the next one, which of the following is the best example of multimedia, like multi-TV? So multimedia. Which of the following is the best example of multimedia? Multimedia. Now, it is important to know that multimedia combines different content types such as text, images, audio, and video. So, okay, it combines what? Different content types. Your text is a content, your images are content. If you post your photo, is a content. If you post audio, is content. Video also is content. Now, anything that combines all of them put together, the text or images or audio or video, if they are combined together, that is multimedia. That okay? So I will pick D because of that. That's what multimedia does. Okay. Which of the following file format is most associated with digital graphic? Which of them is most associated with what? Digital graphics? Digital graphic and times. Which of them is most associated with digital graphics? I know you learned this in that is JPEG. Okay, graphics like photos, those images you guys. Some of them end with .gepeg. Some of them ends with .png. Some of them ends with .png. Like how your PDF ends with .pdf. So some of the photos, you guys have been taking, they end in .jpeg. Some of them end with .png. And those images you use AI to generate, a lot of them ends with .png. Get it? Like that. So it is JPEG, okay. Digital graphic is one of the file formats for what? Associated with what? Digital graphic. Okay. Then a thumbnail. Have you guys seen that when we are about to start the tutorial, when you click on the link, you saw something that they've written on it, Com Skills Tutorial. You saw some image there, you saw some human hand on it. It's a YouTube thumbnail. Thumbnail is something that attracts your thumb to come and click on it. Okay. It's actually a YouTube thumbnail. It's something that tells you, it gives you information about what the tutorial is about. Now on the thumbnail, you can see CSM 184, Introduction to Computers, and you can also see a computer on it. You can see somebody pressing computer on it. A form of thumbnail. Get it? So a thumbnail is a small version or preview of a larger graphic. So that image tells you, it previews. You are able to preview what is about to happen. You know what is about to happen. Is that okay? So it is a smaller version or preview of a what? A larger graphic. Is that okay? So a small version of a, you can say a preview or a smaller version of a larger. Whatever we are doing right now is a graphic. So we had a preview of it by seeing that image you saw earlier that contains human and computer. You know what is about to go down here. Then another thing, a browser plugin or extension is used mainly to, a browser plugin or extension is used mainly to do what? What do we use a browser extension for? So we use it to extend the capabilities of a browser. Okay, we use it to extend the what? Capabilities of browser. Exactly. We use it to extend the what? Capabilities of. Then which of the following is the best example of a browser extension mentioned in the note? Okay. Which of them is the best example of a browser extension mentioned in your note? Which of them is the best example mentioned in class? So Grammarly is actually one popular example. There are more examples actually. Grammarly. So you can get Grammarly extension. There are so many extensions on this laptop. I'm using so many extensions. For me to be able to even show you this screen right now and I'm talking live, you know, I use some extension or something. Get it? Internet is mainly associated with. Internet 2 is mainly associated with. Internet 2 is mainly associated with. Now, Internet 2 is mainly for academic and research activities that require high bandwidth. Okay. Internet 2 is associated or is for academic and research activities that require high bandwidth. You get it? That's what it is for. Are you guys following? If you are following, right? Following in the comment room. Following, right? Following in the comment room. Following, right? Following. Netiquette refers to, so what do we mean when we say netiquette? What does it mean? What's the meaning of netiquette? Netiquette, etiquette, netiquette. So netiquette is basically what? Net and etiquette. Put them together. etiquette. That is. So it means acceptable behavior when you are using the internet. Okay. So acceptable behavior when using the what? Internet. That's the meaning of what? The acceptable behavior when using the net. Clear? Then let's proceed. Which of the following is the strongest password practice? Which of the following is the strongest password practice? Now, a strong password should be long. Okay, a strong password should be what? Long, and it should contain letters, symbols, numbers, and what? And the likes. Let me show you one example. I can say my password, for example, I can say my password is, let's say I want to set a password and I don't know what to set. And I don't have to use my name as a password. So let's say I have a sister. Let's assume I have a sister called Priscilla. Or let's say I have a sister called Ikea. So I can do like, I can set my password like I can say Ikea. I'll use small letter and capital letter for the A, and use small letter for the K, and use small letter for the U, and use small letter for the A. Okay, Ikea, then I'll do dollar. Then if I know Ikea's date of birth, let's say Ikea's date of birth is, let's say 2012, or let's say 2012. Let's assume Ikea's date of birth is 2012. I'll say this is 2012. I'll turn it upside down. I'll do it 2102 instead of 2012. I'll do it 2102. Then I can also add something in addition. I can maybe add baby at the end. It should be long. I can actually stop at where I ended to also. It's also long enough. I think, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It should be, your password should be 9 upward. Okay, it shouldn't be 4, 5. It should be 9 upward. Okay, some people are set 8. You get it? I can set my password like this as an example. You get it? So your password should contain at least a capital letter. It should contain a small letter. It should also contain a special character like hash. Then put hash inside. You can use dots. You can use $sign. You can even use pound sterling and pound sign. You can also use, I think star is also allowed. Okay. You can use any of these signs in your password. Get it? And numbers. So using a password over 8 characters, you should use a password that is more than 8 characters. Is that okay? You use a password that is more than 8 characters, and it should contain letters, numbers, and symbols, as I told you. Okay, and in fact, even the letters, you should have capital letter and small letter. Okay, in the letters. Is that okay? Then let's go to the next. Which action is safest? When an email asks you to click a link to verify your bank account immediately. Let's say somebody send you email and they ask you to verify your bank account immediately so that you not get hacked. Some of you that they will send you PIN, somebody will send you some code bidder and you should mention it to them. Next time, do it again, okay? Go and mention code. You see, I'll lash you. I'll get Ken and lash you. I know you'll be saying it's not possible. So what is the safest action to take? Okay, what's the safest action? So you have to avoid clicking on the link and verify through official channels. Is that okay? Don't click on the link. Verify from the bank or their official website if they really want you to verify your bank account immediately. Why would they just tell you to click a link to verify your bank account? In fact, banks, when they want you to do something, they will tell you to come to their office with your Ghana card or your national ID card. Because they will ask you to come to the bank. Bookmarking a web page helps the user to. I bookmark certain web pages on my browser, but right now because of this tutorial, I will not be able to show you that. But after the midterm, we'll do full-time CSM tutorial from scratch, and I'll show you every single thing they are talking about in your slide practically. I'll show you, but you guys should pray that I should have time for that. Because of work, I don't have time. But if you guys will pay me there, we'll do it. Don't mind me. Okay, let's continue. So bookmarking a web page helps the user to. What does it help the user to be able to do? So it helps the users to save a web page for later access. So you can save the web page so that you can access it later. Which keyboard shortcut can commonly be used to bookmark a web page? Which of them can be used to bookmark a Which of them can be used to bookmark? So you just mere Ctrl+D straight. Just mere Ctrl+D, you know that. Be able to bookmark the web page. HTTP cookies are best described as HTTP cookies are best described as what are they described? So they are small what? Text files created and stored as user browser website. Okay, that's what they are small text files created as user browser what? Website. So users browse the web. Small text files created as users browse the web. As you are browsing the web, they are created for you. Those are the. Then session cookies. So we also have something called session cookies. Okay. It will remember your session. It will help you to remember what you are currently doing. Like remember what you are currently. That's why we call it session. So you are still in certain session. Session cookies are different from persistent cookies because session cookies. What's the function of what makes session cookies different from persistent? What makes it different from it? So session cookies expire when the browsing session. So as soon as you are done with the browsing session, the session cookie will expire. And the persistent one might not do that immediately. So the session is based on certain sessions. So it expires when the browsing session ends. Get it? Then third-party cookies are most associated with what? Third-party cookies most associated with what? What do you mean by third-party cookies? Third-party cookies are what? They are often used to track, listen, third-party cookies are often used to track users across websites for advertising and what? And profiling. Okay, they are used to track users across websites for advertising and profiling. Okay, profiling. Why? Have you noticed that you guys you go and search for something on your browser? Let's say you go and search about let's say you go and search about something in your browser, then you go to TikTok, and when you go to TikTok, all of a sudden something you search about, all of a sudden to start appearing in your TikTok. You'll be wondering, this thing that I search about right now, how come TikTok for you is bringing, or you just talk about something with your friend, you think internet is witchcraft, something that you just search somewhere else or you talk about somewhere else, then all of a sudden you go to another browser, then you start seeing things about that thing. You know, cookies are part of what cause those things. Cookies cause all that. You get it? So tracking users across different websites and for advertising and profiling. So things that you like, they will advertise those things to you. Will come to your browser. Get it? Which of the following is an advantage of cookies? So what's the advantage of cookies? What's the advantage of it? So you should know that cookies help with personalized browsing and session tracking. Is that okay? So it will be the answer in that case. I said cookies help with what? Personalized browsing and session tracking. Okay. Personalized browsing. We'll finish soon, okay? Personalized browsing and what? Session tracking. Then a disadvantage of clearing all cookies is that you can actually clear your cookies. Is that okay? You can actually clear cookies. May I clear cookies in certain instances? Sometimes I don't clear them. But there are situations that I clear them. I won't tell you that. When we are doing cyber security, I'll show you that. So what's the disadvantage of clearing cookies? Okay. What's the disadvantage? Me, I told you that there are some situations that I clear cookies. Why do I clear? Even though it has disadvantage, but there are situations where I clear them. Why do I clear them? When we are doing cyber hacking. Now, the reason is the disadvantage of clearing cookies is that clearing cookies can delete login or session data and sign users out of the website. Let's say you've logged in certain things on your computer. Okay, you log in KNUST website and so many things on your. As soon as you clear your cookies, all of them will disappear. So next time, if you want to go to the same place, you have to log in again. Next time you have to re-log in again before you can use that thing again. You get it? You said my voice is down. He said a disadvantage of clearing all cookies is that is it up now? Can you hear me louder now? The disadvantage of clearing all cookies is that, are you there? What's the disadvantage of clearing cookies? If you clear cookies, all the login sessions you have on your laptop, all the things that you log in and you've not logged out, they will all clear off. So next time you have to re-log in again before you can get in. You get it? So for that answer, we are going to choose B. Your browser may delete login/session data for. Is it clearer now? Is my voice louder now? So you guys should give me some extra 20 minutes. Is that clear? Give me some extra 20 minutes. Is that clear? One. A computer network is best described as. Computer network is best. It's a computer network is a what? It's a What is computer network? So it is what? Two or more connected computers that share or exchange data. So it becomes a network. So when you and some 5 people are connected and you share and exchange data, then it has become a network. Network of friends, friends of friends, network of friends. That's it. So computer network is 2 or more connected computers that share and exchange what? Data. That has become a network. Okay. Which of the following combines both hardware and software aspects of networking? Which of the following combines both hardware and software aspects of networking? Both hardware and software together. Which of them combines them? So network hardware carries signals. Is that okay? Network, listen, oh, network hardware carries signals, while the software provides instruction for network services. Is that okay? So it's A. The hardware carries the signals, but the software provides instruction for network services. Provides instruction. Remember, the software provides instruction for network service, whereas the hardware carries the signal. You get it? Which of these is not a common application of computer networks? Which of them is not an application of computer networks? Now listen attentively. You see, it's important to know that networks do not automatically prevent all human errors. Okay. So that is not a common network application. Okay. So for 43, let's pick C. Preventing all human error is not a common application of computer networks. But sharing printers, sharing databases, communicating between computers are right. Okay, you can use computer networks for printers, databases, and sharing, communicating between computers. But you can use it to prevent human errors automatically. Okay. The network performance is commonly measured using. How do you measure network performance? What is it? What do you use to measure network performance? What do you use to measure network performance? How do you measure network performance? You use transit time and response time to measure network performance. Is that okay? You use what? Transit time and what? Response time. Transit is like the movement of something from one place to another. Response is the time you get. So if you want to know the performance network, you use the transit time and then response time. And the time it takes for your distance to go through, the time it takes for you to get response. Use it to determine the performance. Okay. Then the next one. Which factor can affect the network performance? What can affect the performance of your network? What? Which of the factors here can affect? So you should know that both the number of users and the transmission medium can affect the network performance. Okay. So the medium of transmission and the number of users. That is why the day you guys were checking your CWA, your result, you guys were saying that I can't see mine. Maybe people are on it too much, or the network is jamming. your network is not loading. And it's because maybe the number of users are plenty. Everybody wants to check their results. So they were plenty. So it affected the network. See that? So both the number of users and transmission medium, your medium of transmission can also affect it. Okay. So number of users and the transmission medium can affect it. Sometimes they are setting a question, they will do it I, and IV. Then they will write number of users, then they will write transmission medium, then they will write some other two wrong answers. Then they will say A, I and II only. B, all of them, I and IV. C, I and II only. And D, I and IV only. So you should know it's only I and II only, since they are the correct answer. That's why you should know all the answers. Okay. That is both number of users and transmission medium that can affect the performance. In networking, reliability refers mainly to, what is reliability in networking? What is reliability? So reliability concerns how often failure occurs, okay, or recovery time and robustness of the what? Of the emergencies. So the frequency of failure, okay, the frequency of failure, how often the failure occurs. Okay, so it's talking about that. Okay, so the frequency of failure, recovery time, and robustness during emergencies. That is reliability. It talks about that. Then a point-to-point connection differs from a multi-point connection because point-to-point does what? What does point-to-point do? So a point-to-point connection provides a dedicated link between two devices. Is that okay? Point-to-point. It has a dedicated link between what? Two devices. That's why we call it what? Point-to-point. Is that okay? Not a multi-point. So it has a dedicated connection between what? It has a dedicated link between what? Two devices. So it provides a dedicated link between what? Two devices. Okay, point to point. Don't forget, there's a dedicated link between what? Two devices. Point to point. So dedicated link between Amma and a boyfriend. Two persons. Dedicated link between point to point. Get it? In a mesh topology, so you guys learn topology. We have ring topology, mesh topology, and the likes. You remember ring topology, mesh topology, and all that. So they're asking that in a mesh topology, okay, each device does what? What do each device do in a mesh topology? You need to know that. So it's important to know that in a mesh topology, each device has a dedicated link to every other device. Okay, each device has a what? Dedicated link to every other device. So, okay, each of them have a dedicated link to every other device. A mesh topology. So, okay. Then, which topology depends heavily on a central controller such as a hub or switch? For instance, this is a central controller. Then there's one device here, another device here, another device here, another device here. They are all depending on one central controller. Which topology does that? Which topology is it that all of them depends on one central controller? This one I'm expecting answers from you guys. So it is star topology. Okay, star topology. So okay, they all depend on a central controller. They depends heavily on a central controller such as a hub. So this is the hub or switch. Okay, if you switch this one, all of them will be affected. They will all be affected if you touch this. So they are all connected to one central hub. Get it? In a bus topology, so bus topology looks like a bus, and they are all connected like that. All connected to it. You get it? In a bus topology, just like shuttle, when you take shuttle, the way you all hold that pillar at the top of the shuttle, those who've been standing, I think that they hold something, they are all connected to that thing. If that thing break, they will all fall down. You get it? So in a bus topology, all devices are connected. I'm just using that as a human example. In a bus topology, all devices are connected mainly through. In a bus topology, all devices are connected mainly through one long backbone cable. Is that okay? One long backbone cable. So like this. So they are all connected through one long backbone cable. Just as everybody in the shuttle standing are connected through that one pillar that they all hold. So if that pillar break, it will fall down. You get it? The key characteristic of a ring topology is that, what's the major characteristic of a ring topology? We are about to finish, okay? Finish soon. What's the key characteristic of a ring topology? Key characteristic of a ring. A ring topology is like this. They are all connected, like are connected in a ring. Get it? So what's the key characteristic of a ring topology? So ring topology forms a circular connection. Is that okay? They form a circular connection. And data commonly moves in one direction. So you should know that. Is that okay? Data move in what? One direction. You know that it forms a circular connection. Circular connection. And data commonly move in what? In direction. One direction. If this is one, this one will go to this one too will go to another, this one too will connect to another, this one too will connect to another, this one too will connect. So it moves in one direction, in direction. So okay, and they are connected circularly. Get it? That's why we call it what? That's what we call it ring topology. Ring. So okay. Then which network type is organized around an individual person and may include a mobile phone, laptop, and personal device? You see, remember that they taught you that we have one wide area network, PAN, personal area network, MAN, metropolitan area network, and CAN. Is that okay? So they're asking that which of them? Okay. So which of them is organized around an individual person? This is a keyword, an individual person, and may include mobile phone, laptop, and personal device. Personal. So it is what? PAN, personal area network. Is that okay? So PAN means what? Personal area network, and it's usually organized around one person's device. You get it? Then let's go. A university connecting several LANs. When a university connects several LANs across its campus, most likely using a. When a university connects several LANs across its campus, what are they using? What are they using? So when a campus connects several LANs using, what do they use? What do they use? They use CAN. Is that okay? They use campus area network. Is that okay? Campus area network. They can use it to connect several LANs. So many LANs. One local area. Let's say Brunei is one local area. Then Kesleford is another local area. Then like different places. KSB is another local area. Social block is also another local area. So all the networks will now be connected using what? Campus area network. So okay. Done. Then a network covering a city and position between LAN and WAN is called, listen, a network covering a city. It covers what? An entire city. And position between LAN and WAN is called, it is in between LAN. LAN is local area network and WAN is what? Wide area network. Right? Which one is in between them? But it's covering the whole city. It is what? It is a MAN. You get it? That is what? Metropolitan area network. Okay, MAN, metropolitan area network. Metropolitan area network. So I hope you get that right. Are you following? I hope you get it right. Let's proceed. Malware refers to, so what are malwares? What are malwares? When we talk about malware, what are they? Let me finish and look for. What are malware? Malware refers to what? This one I want you to write in the comment room. What is malware? So malware is a software created with malicious intent. When you create something with malicious intent, Okay, that software that are created with malicious intent. You know that I can create a software and send it to you. I'm just giving an example. I can create a software and send it to you. Then you, let's say you open that software. Maybe you want to use that software on your computer. Then I will send you that software. Then you use it. Then when you use it, I can have access to certain things on your computer and even blackmail you, especially if you go and have your nudes. Imagine having your nudes on your computer. I'll get all of them and start blackmailing you. If you don't pay me, I'll release them. It's an example. I'm not the one going to do that. I know how they go about all those things, but I don't do some. So please, just giving an example. Okay, that's why you should stop that thing you people have been doing, that foolish thing you people have been doing. When you are doing those your copying, you guys, that sinful thing you guys have been doing, then you take video, then you'll be recording it. It's very bad. Stop recording yourself. It doesn't make sense. You know that it affects the ladies more than it affects the guys. The guy there, if he's doing it well, he will get other girls. But you, the lady, see, when there's a leak, let me tell you people one truth today. The guys can attest to it. When there's a leak video and we are all rushing to go and watch it on Telegram and those things. Some of us, we are not watching because we watch porn. We watch it because we just want to know those involved. We just want to know those involved. That's all. When I see you a girl and you're involved and you're the one, I will never take. That's the mentality. That's the truth. You guys should stop recording yourselves. It's very bad. So anybody can have access to it at any point. So malware are what? Let's hurry up and go. Malware is a software created with malicious intent. So which one are we going to pick? So we pick a software designed with malicious intent. Software design. Which malware type usually requires user interaction, such as opening an infected attachment before infection occurs? Which malware type usually requires user interact, such as opening an infected attachment? You remember that sometimes some people will send you some link, be that they saw your picture somewhere that you should click on this link to see it. Or they will send you something, some file be to open. One day, I wanted to trace my sister's location. I thought she was lying to me, so I wanted to trace her location. So I should have sent her a document that I know that she will open that document to see. I just want to trap her location. So as soon as she tapped on the document, no, I saw her location. I know where she was. You get it? Something like that. So, but this one is for infection, like something. I'm just giving a clue, an example. So, which of them do you, such as an infected, this one, it will infect you, infected attachment before infection occurs. So which of them is it? So it is a virus. Okay. It's a virus. A virus usually need user action. Okay, such as opening an infected file or attachment. Okay. Then a worm is especially dangerous because it can. What makes worm dangerous? What makes it dangerous? And what makes worm dangerous? What makes worm dangerous? Let's hurry up. So a worm can self-replicate and spread without explicit user interaction. Okay. It's worm, it will duplicate, it will replicate itself, it will self-replicate, and it will spread across. It spread like coronavirus. You get it? So it's worm that behaves that way. So it's self-replicate and spread without explicit user interaction. You don't need any other results now. It will just spread across. That's worm. Okay. Then a Trojan horse is best described as malware that. So which type of malware is what? A Trojan horse. What type of malware is it? So it is actually Trojan horse distinguishes itself as a legitimate software but compromises security. So okay, it is legitimate but what? It compromises what? Security. So what are we going to pick based on that? We can pick A. Okay. As a legitimate software while compromising security. So okay, that's a Trojan. Then ransomware is malware that ransomware. Okay, when they will put it inside, they will be taking ransom from you. You will pay ransom. Like the kidnappers and the kidnappers, those of you who read news, the kidnappers that take people in Nigeria, then they'll be asking for ransom before they will release the person. So ransomware encrypts files and demand payment before access is restored. So they will encrypt your file, then they will demand payment before they will restore the access. Just as kidnappers will take somebody and they will require for ransom before they release the person. Is that okay? So that's what ransomware do. So we are going to pick encrypts a victim's file. To encrypt it, to lock it up, and demand for payment before you get access to your own thing back again. Just imagine. Your own thing, oh, before you get access to it, you have to pay. They lock it for you, they will encrypt it. Then, which of the following is best overall protection strategy against malware? How can you protect yourself against malware? I can ask you a question on that as well. How can you protect yourself against malware? How? So it is good you get some trusted antivirus, okay, trusted antivirus or firewall tools. And it's also good to update your system. So these are the things you should do. You should use trusted antivirus or firewall tools. You should also be updating your system regularly, okay. Then you should also scan regularly, okay. You should scan regularly to see if there is virus. And you should also use secure networks. Don't go to networks that you know nothing about by heart, okay. Don't just go to any network by heart like that. Is that okay? So at least I've tried and I've reminded you of some things you learned in class using this. So I believe you guys can go and continue. You can go and continue reading and also rewatch. Okay, it's been saved. Save the video. And remember that this channel is for IT stuff. And you guys, I want you guys, I've never asked you for this before, but it's important so that it can rank the video high for others. When they come to YouTube, they can see. So you guys should like the video, okay? Because I don't tell you guys like, subscribe, those things, so you don't do. I shouldn't be telling you that. If you benefit from something, it's good to contribute to it. You get it? So you should do that. Click on like for the video. And this is the page that will be treating every IT related stuff during the vacation. Whilst in school and during the vacation. Learn IT courses. So I'll see you guys. So I'm going to end the meeting here. You can go and revise. Is that okay? I'm done for now. Is that okay? Welcome. Welcome. So you guys should like the video as I said though. Like it. When you like a video, it ranks the video such that when people come on YouTube and they see that it's like that, also go through them. I'll see you, okay? Enjoy your all the best in your. I wish you all the best. In French, how do people say? Je vous souhaite. Hey, am I speaking correct French? I'm lying to myself. Deceiving myself. Oh. Eh? Deceiving myself, right? Let me know if I'm deceiving myself, right? So, all the best. In your exam. I'll see you guys, okay? Bye bye.